Buried beneath royal portraits, polite smiles, and pageantry lies a truth that almost no one dares to speak about. A truth that shattered a family. A truth that nearly collapsed the British monarchy. And it begins not with a crown, but with a mother. This is the story of Queen Mary, a mother who turned her back on her own son. Not because he betrayed her, but because he betrayed everything she stood for. And this royal truth, it was never meant to see the light of day. 1936. The British Empire is vast, powerful, and fragile. And right at the center of it all stands King Edward VIII, young, charming, rebellious. But he's hiding a secret. He's fallen in love with a woman the monarchy cannot accept, Wallis Simpson, an American, already divorced once, in the process of a second. And she is still married when they begin their affair. To Edward, Wallis is everything. To the government and the church, she's a constitutional disaster. They tell him, you can have the crown, or you can have her. And Edward chooses love. On December 10, 1936, he signs away the throne. The first monarch in British history to abdicate voluntarily. And the moment he does, the nation holds its breath. But one person doesn't. She simply disappears from the spotlight. Queen Mary, his mother. Queen Mary of Teck, elegant, devoted, steeped in tradition. She had raised Edward to be a king, to serve, to lead, to carry the crown. But now, he had walked away. And to her, that wasn't just a personal failure. It was a betrayal of everything. She didn't argue. She didn't plead. She didn't attend his wedding. And for the rest of her life, she never saw her son again. But what if Queen Mary's silence wasn't just about disappointment? What if she knew something darker was coming? Long before the public caught on, British intelligence had been tracking Wallis Simpson. She had ties to foreign diplomats. She was known to gossip about high-level state matters. There were whispers of leaks, of danger. And then came the photo. In 1937, after the abdication, Edward and Wallis visited Nazi Germany. They were greeted like celebrities. They toured Hitler's facilities. And Edward, once a British king, shook hands with Adolf Hitler. The royal family buried that image. But Queen Mary, she saw the danger before anyone else. And she made her decision, not as a grieving mother, but as the final protector of the crown. When Edward stepped down, the monarchy was on the brink. But Mary's second son, George VI, stepped up. He was shy. He stammered. He wasn't ready. But he led Britain through World War II with resolve. And his daughter, Elizabeth, she would become the longest reigning monarch in British history. But none of that would have happened if Queen Mary had chosen love over legacy. So why did this truth stay buried for so long? Because it wasn't just a scandal. It was a survival strategy, a line in the sand between monarchy and collapse. Queen Mary made an unthinkable choice. She turned away from her son to protect the nation. Was it cruel? Was it courageous? You decide. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you're drawn to the truths hidden behind royal walls, subscribe to Facts Family Official. Because here, history isn't polished, it's powerful.